You should be live. Start us off. Yeah, we're good. Green light.
Hey, what's going on? Let me start off by saying, and Gator, make sure for the people you clip this. Um, I want y'all to know, under Big Dogs, want everybody to know that we are all under Big Dogs. This show was not created for under Big Dogs, the people that you see hosting the show. This show was not created for Gator, as you see there. My name, King Bradley. This show was not created for me. This show was created for sports fans, for the sports world, for the sports public to come into this space and, debate these sports topics with us. Have fun doing what we all love to do, and that's talk sports. That's what this show was made for. That's what it was designed for. It was designed for the sports world. All right. So, I want people to definitely enjoy watching. Because not everybody could fit on the show each topic, right? But I want you to understand that this show was made for the sports world. All right. We stream live on YouTube, and we stream in sports analysts on Discord. So we stream live on YouTube, and we stream the sports fans in on Discord. So if you don't have a Discord, what are you waiting for? Make a Discord, right? And join the show. It's easy steps. Easy steps. We got the steps on our stories on Instagram. We have it on all our social media platforms. We have it on our YouTube on how to join. Join the show. Get your voice heard. Let's have fun. Let's blow this thing up. All right. Um, start us off. Start us off, Gator.
Yeah, we got the sports news to start us off. We got Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson, just signed a 4-year extension, $68.5 million for a tight end. One of the highest tight end contracts in history. I love
Oh,
TJ Hawkinson.
I thought it was. I
I
thought
don't
it
think
was the
it's
highest.
I don't think it's the highest.
Oh, okay, okay,
I,
okay.
you could fact check me. I don't think it's. I think it's one of the highest. I don't because I'm pretty sure George Kittle's is even higher, but I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. Don't fact check me on that. It's definitely top 3 or 4. It's definitely top 3 or 4. But I love T.J. Hawkinson, King. What you think about that?
Oh, of course. T.J. Hawkinson is a amazing player.
Very
Amazing
young
player.
too.
Amazing tight end talent. And now he's on a offense that's designed to get him plentiful touches. So yeah, great
Eh,
contract for the Vikings.
Two things that it pains me to say this in front of you, and but we got to alert the sports world.
What?
Cooper Cup dealing with a hamstring strain. His week 1 status is in jeopardy. It looks like he re-aggravated it. I really hope Cooper Cup gets back soon. I got him on a few of my fantasy teams as well. So, and he's one of the most exciting play. Forget fantasy wise, one of the most exciting wide receivers to watch in the National Football League. So,
I
the
can agree with
league
that.
is better when the league is more fun to watch when Cooper Cup is healthy. So, I hope he gets healthy soon. Hopefully he misses no time at all. Jonathan Taylor this is beyond football at this point. I don't think he's injured at all, to be honest with you.
No, I don't.
That relationship is not good at the moment. Well, he I don't even know. I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with him past those 4 weeks. But for the first 4 weeks, Jonathan Taylor will be missing for the Colts. He will be on the pup list still. I don't really want to get much into that. That's just what it is. Until I hear more information about that's just what it is right now. Group play continues for. Let me get with the last NFL news, I guess. Nick Bosa. This actually changed recently. I thought a deal was imminent. I got recent news today. that deal might not be as done as people thought. Apparently, Nick Bosa was traveling back to San Francisco today. All signs pointed to him playing Week 1, a contract extension within the next couple of days. Now I'm hearing they're still $4 million off. Bosa's asking for 35. The Niners are only willing to give 31. So that's something to look forward to. It's looking more and more likely that Nick Bosa misses Week 1.
35 what? Like a
35
year?
mil a year. That's what he wants.
Ooh,
And the Niners are willing to do 31. They've gone as high
I
as
would
31.
go a penny higher.
He
Yeah.
want quarterback money. My gosh. What's
Well,
wrong with
that's
him?
the thing with the Niners though. They got quarterback money because Purdy's on a
And that's
Yeah.
a probably part of the reason why they let Trey Lance go, so that they could wait to have.
Yeah,
Man.
apparently the Niners misbudgeted both, so they thought they were going to be able to easily sign him for what
What it was
they're
What it was,
easily
they got baited. They got baited by
baited.
they got baited by the Debo Samuels deal. You know, they gave Debo Samuels a big bag. You know what I mean? When he was holding
Yeah.
out a training camp. And so because he was first up, they felt obligated to give him his dough. And now you in a pickle because Debo, no disrespect to Debo, he's a great football player, but he ain't Joey Bosa, right?
You think this is a John Lynch thing? Just maybe a little bit inexperienced to be a manager or an owner?
John played for the 49ers and got
He's a young owner. He's only owned the team for like a couple years so far. So like,
I
do you
don't
think
think John Lynch is an owner though. I think he's just the
No,
GM.
the GM? Sorry.
Oh my! What do you? He don't
Well,
got
he
the
played.
49ers.
Well, John Lynch is the one that's behind the desk making those deals. Like
yeah. I know that.
the
much.
owners aren't
Yeah,
doing
but no,
that, you know.
no, I
You
know
think
that
that
much. I
might
thought
be a
you
general?
just said owner. That's why. I was
Yeah. Sorry. I misspoke. So, you think that has anything to do with it? Maybe why the off seasons have been so poor? I wouldn't say they're poor, just very odd. Just very odd. Like it's just a
I
not.
mean,
They get their
they
stuff
getting it
done.
done.
They get it done. Yeah. It's just it takes a little longer than most teams.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Gator, you got to realize John Lynch is a Super Bowl winner. Oh, 2 winners. Maybe
Yeah.
3. Okay?
That's
You
one of
gotta-
my favorite safeties ever, man.
How many Ronnie Lott? Oh, Gator, I know more of your 49 than you do. Joe Montana, Rice, and I could go on and on and on. Okay? Now, you want to talk about my man as a GM. He said, when you get one of these rings like I did, I give you a bag, but 31 million per year for you didn't give us nothing. You didn't give us a Lawrence Taylor sack that fumbled and ran it
He
back.
won Defensive Player of the Year last year, but
Lawrence
they're
Taylor's
willing. The Niners are willing to make Bosa the highest paid defensive player in football, but they're not willing to give him Aaron Donald money. So that's where they're at the moment. Because Aaron Donald is making QB money at the moment.
But do you think he deserved it?
Um,
Tell the truth.
I think
Don't be.
I think he deserves the 31. 35 is that's a price.
But then didn't he?
He really acting like that over $4 more million?
Yeah,
year?
I don't. He's got all the power here, so you know because
I tell him, kick
the
rock.
Niners aren't going to trade him at this point
I'll
of the
trade
season.
I'll trade him for whatever San Francisco is lacking.
The problem with that is now Nick Bosa. If it was before the draft, the Niners would have a little more leverage here. The Niners are not going to trade him now. They can't. They need to draft for. They would need to trade for somebody that they can win now with, and that's not going to happen. Normally, you would trade for draft picks and try to replace them immediately, but they can't do that now. The draft is until next year.
Playing though, Gator. So what's the difference? Him sitting out all this time, or just move on. What's the difference?
Well, eventually he'll have to play because he'll get fined eventually. That's the thing. But
if he gets his bag, he don't care about a fine. He doesn't care about the fine. Give him his bag.
Yeah, but that's what it's at. I want to move this topic on because this is just sports news. So, and the last two things I'm gonna lead off with. And I know King has a lot of respect for stuff like this, so I'm gonna leave the floor to King with this. But I'm going to. We'll start with the thing that's We'll do this first. So I don't know if anybody heard with the Wisconsin volleyball team, the women's volleyball team just set the record for the most people at a women's sporting event. 92,000. 3 people showed up for. It was definitely planned. It was definitely planned. It wasn't just something that people are like, oh, let's just go to this volleyball game. But for people to actually show up and break that record, I mean, I know King's got a lot of respect for women's sports. I mean, if you watch the highlights, it was really dope. They did a big time women's volleyball game inside of Wisconsin's football stadium and packed it. Like the atmosphere was really crazy. So props to the women's volleyball team. And the other thing that King wanted to touch base about is Venus Williams lost in the first round of the U.S. Open today.
42 years old.
King got a few things to say about that. So I'll leave the floor to him real quick. Or King's not here.
No, yeah. Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
There you go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. No, I mean, with that, and I want Batman to say his 2 cents on that too, honestly. And Ty Nation, if you want to say his 2 cents on that too, he can, because and welcome in Ty Nation, welcome in Batman. Just you could clip this, Gator, just so that we can get this information out there. Batman jumped in on the show. That's what this, right? For y'all to just jump on in here and talk these sports talks with us and debate these topics with us that we're going to bring up. But with this Venus thing, losing in the first round, look, at this point, like I just really want to talk about, I want to talk about like sort of like her legacy, right? Because it was, she's at the age obviously where, retirement is real intimate. Like it should be probably already, she should have probably been retired. But we do know at least it's intimate, and we just want to talk about, first African American woman to ever be ranked world number 1 in the world. The first.
That was Venus. That was Venus, not Serena.
Venus.
Wow.
It was Venus.
Okay.
First African American woman to ever be ranked number 1 in the world. First player ranked outside the top 50 to reach the U.S. Open final. And, one of only 2 women to reach the U.S. Open final on her first attempt, right? One of only 2 women to win 4 Olympic gold medals. And the other one, obviously, is her sister, but 4 Olympic gold medals in tennis. One of 2 players to win 5 Olympic medals. Only player ever to win an Olympic medal in 4 different editions of the games. Most appearances in Grand Slam single draws, right? You're talking about 7 singles Grand Slams, 14 doubles Grand Slams, 2 mixed doubles Grand Slams, 4 Olympic gold medals. So this is who Venus Williams is, right? Like this is the stallion. She graced the sport of tennis, and Gator knows how much I love the women's game in any sport. And the reason why I do so much is because women can't do it, men do it, men can't do what women do. You know what I mean? Men can't, have a baby, come back 2 months, 3 months later playing tennis.
Sure.
Like Serena did. Men don't have menstrual cycles. Men don't have the type of things that, bother women on a day-to-day basis, the type of, anxieties that they face and the type of things that they face to still be able to go out and play a sport at a high level. Like, we got to understand it's 2 different worlds of sports, and we got to appreciate both as to what they're able to pull off as women in sports and what we're able to pull off as men in sports. And so this is who Venus is, even though it's about that time to retire for her. I just want to remember, all that she has done. I don't know, Batman, what is your take on just, her losing first round U.S. Open at this stage of her career?
This greatness just hanging on, because she knows she was great. Everybody knows she was great. Everybody even watched that tennis match for a first round, because that is Venus. But her age, Father Time catches up with everybody. Everybody, all the great Jordan, Magic, Larry Birds. It catches up with boxing. It catches up with baseball. So with the first round, I was shocked that she was actually playing in it, honestly. And I watched it, but I had to turn from it Because I want to remember, like I want to remember Jordan's greatness when he left Washington. And the day Jordan left Washington, they fired him the same day, you know, as whatever. And Venus was great. All the accolades King has said about Venus is absolutely facts, and it's true. And it's like expedition now for her to keep going on, because a lot of people still want to some way root for her, and she always got to be what you call it, a wild card in every match she plays from now on until she reaches a higher level, meaning in the top 10 player or whatever. Which that is that, but she wanted, I think, because this was the U.S. Open, that this might be her last hurrah. And honestly, and I can't speak for Venus because she probably tell me to shut up. But everybody knows, the tennis world knows that this, you know, she should say, okay, this is a young person sport where she came and she was very young with her sister, beat Serena, and you applaud her and say, when she say I'm retired like her sister Serena did, and her sister is younger than her, maybe by a couple of years, maybe. And to say, all right, because she suffered, she had illness, if y'all recall, she also had illness. And say goodbye gracefully. And this, I think this was her goodbye, you know, goodbye thing. The U.S. Open is big, like it's like Wimbledon and all and everything, the French Open, stuff like that. But her age caught up with her. And it was good to see her play, but I had to turn away after when I knew she was not capable of beating these younger players. That's nowhere near when she was in her prime could ever touch her. But that being said, so we can move on from this. Venus, salute you.
No, I got a little bit to add to that too. Sometimes that's what's actually like great about sports. You know, sometimes it's not, you can't go out like Peyton Manning. Sometimes, most of the time, the stars they don't. Sometimes their goodbye is a loss, and that's okay. Literally in the WWE, they do this thing where I know it's not the same. I know it's not the same. It's just using this as an example to say goodbye to to say goodbye to the Undertaker, to say goodbye to Goldberg, to say goodbye to they lose. They'll lose. They will make them lose. They'll have somebody win over on them. So sometimes the greatest thing about sports is just appreciating the people that were out there doing what they did, even coming off a loss, a first round exit in the U.S. Open. You know, that could have been I wouldn't say it's the best thing that could have happened to her in that tournament, but she was there to say her goodbye. I agree with you. I think she was there to make an appearance, see how far she could go. Her one last hurrah. And, you know, some of the greatest goodbyes come out of a loss. Like, look at Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb out of Green Bay last year. Like, they got to share a great moment coming off a loss. So it happens. You don't get to go out like Peyton Manning. Most people don't. So anything else you got to add to that, King?
No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give those sentiments to Venus. What we got? What's our first topic?
Our first topic, I was going to do the college football talk, but I'm going to skip over that. I just want everybody to know, though, college football week 1 is officially upon us. Football season is here. We got a little preview. It technically started last week. We got a little preview this week. So everybody tune into that this weekend. We got LSU versus Florida State on Sunday. A nice little preview for Sunday Night Football. Normally there's not big time games for college on Sunday, but we got that this weekend. They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose for sure. There's no Sunday games this weekend.
We not checking for LSU Florida State right now anyway. I mean, what type of week?
Number 5 versus number 8. It's gonna hey, listen.
Wait. Florida State preseason rank is number 8
this year. Yeah.
They're ranked 8?
It's a big game. Sunday night.
I just thought Florida State was the same old Florida State.
I thought so too. I saw that ranking today. I was like, whoa.
I mean, I know Florida is one of the best. Florida is one of the best football states out there. I know that. It's just that the Gators and Florida State
have been bad.
Really lagging.
I mean, even Florida. Even Florida last night.
Miami.
Did you see Florida last night?
That's
Did you see my
play.
Did you see my Gators get smoked yesterday?
They stuck up the play.
Utah beat them without Cam Rising. Utah beat them without Cam Rising yesterday.
You got a great football state. I don't know what's going on with these Florida programs.
It's crazy, bro.
But what's our first topic?
First topic is who is going to win the MVP in the NBA this year. I got a little graphic on screen too to show the favorites. We start off with a banger today.
Oh, we got a graphic on the screen now? Oh,
let me know how that looks, King. Let me know if I have to make it bigger.
Let me see. I'm about to pull it up right now. Okay, a little graphic. We still building on the Big Dogs community. It's blurry to me. Okay, it's getting a little. Yeah, and it don't matter if it's over us.
You gotta change the resolution.
It don't matter if it's over us for a hot minute. Man, I can't see what Vegas is saying.
Change the resolution, bro. You're probably on like 480p.
It says Nikola Jokic, Giannis, Luka. I want to say that says, but
Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I could think of these names though. But
you got to change the resolution. It's the only reason why you can't see it.
Moving forward, if you want, maybe you could be on the Discord on your phone, right? Prop your phone up, and then on your iPad, you could be watching, the stream on YouTube on your iPad, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So that you could see both. I can
read it a little bit real quick too. I mean, it's general common sense. Yeah, Nikola Jokic is the favorite right now to win the MVP at plus 430. Then we got in order Giannis, Luka, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Devin Booker. And then it kind of gets a little crazy after Devin Booker. We got Shai, Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox. Those are kind of long shots. Those are like plus 1,500 plus.
LeBron name ain't up there nowhere.
LeBron is nowhere.
Let's give Mark W said
they probably don't. They probably missed him on purpose.
He's 150 years old. LeBron's 100.
It's quiet for LeBron.
No, they're telling you to change the resolution so you can see it. That's what they're saying. That's the reason why it's blurry for you. You got to change the resolution of the stream.
Difficulties, right? At that time, I'm gonna go into my popcorn. So get the
that's me.
Yeah, they're saying it to you.
Thai Nation. Start us off with this one. Who you got?
I'm gonna put it on top of my face. You don't need to see me. It's okay.
Just say the name.
Man, this is a good one. It's very hard. I think. Oh man, this is tough.
Come on, it's okay to say the obvious. It's okay to say the obvious.
You was right. Resolution change is all that I needed to do, and it worked.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nate.
I think it is hard for me, but I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna be Giannis. I think Giannis is gonna win the MVP this year. I just think that he's gonna have a real bounce back year. He didn't have a bad year last year, but I think he's gonna have a year that is just dominant going into this next season. And I think Milwaukee's gonna be one of those teams to just be one to look out for. I think they got a really good shot of being very, very good. I don't believe that Jokic is gonna be able to do it again. So that is my, what I'm saying, that's my
pick. I'm gonna go this year, in my opinion, but
I'm gonna go with Giannis.
You win 3 in a row? You think he's Jordan?
He might be.
But I am with King. I am with King when I think about Bron, the value that Bron adds to a team. If we're talking about the most valuable player, which we can argue the MVP award all day long, but I don't understand how LeBron doesn't get on that list.
He probably is. They probably just haven't updated yet. I would assume his odds got to be higher than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They probably just don't know where to put him yet. I'm sure that'll be updated. They just probably don't want people betting on him right now.
So you got so let me make this clear, Nation. You got Giannis.
Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
That's number 2 on the list. He's plus 500 right now.
He's number 2 on the list. He should be plus mother one. Plus one. He's going to have a bounce back season. And the reason why, because they knew he was not supposed to be bumped that early in the round. He's going to have a comeback season that is going to be unbelievable. For one, he won the NBA championship already. He got the MVP. He did all that. But he don't really care about MVP. He's going to win MVP on default of he whooping everybody going into the season. Because when they came at him and said, did you feel disappointed on the season, this and that? He went on when Jordan did this at his early years and all that. He is going to go ham. I don't know your young boy know what ham means. That mean when you poke a pig, they go and they go run around and call him. But with the Longhorns, he's going to go ham. And again, he's going to win like Joe Embiid won the MVP this year because he went ham, but did not go far. But he had a great season. Joe Embiid should have had one MVP because of his stats. And I'm not a stats MVP because I'm one of those, like King say, while LeBron is nowhere near the top three, not even the top three, because he's most valuable player is a MVP, most valuable team player, and that's what come on, man, like he runs Milwaukee team. He can actually bring the ball up the court too. He's dominant on defense, dominant on offense, he's a team leader, and he's going to win MVP, but that's not going to satisfy him. To win another championship is going to satisfy him. To go after Joker, because he's going to put Joker around. Because Joker is tall and everything, but he has no pushing action around at all. He can't play no D, and then my man going to play D on him, and it's going to be over in the championship. I got Milwaukee, and this is jumping ahead. That's how much I know he's going to win MVP. He's going to run through the East. Sorry, Knicks. I'm a very big Knicks fan. Everybody knows. It's not the Knicks year yet, because then we're going to try to sign my man after the end of the year, either Joel Embiid or the Greek Freak. But the Greek Freak is going to win MVP this year. And he's on a mission. Because he's on a mission, anybody chime on that, and let's get it on.
We got two Giannis's. I'm gonna stay with Jokic here. I think Jokic is the best player in basketball right now. I think he's the closest to LeBron James that we have, besides like athleticism. Jokic is athletic though. He just moves like a weirdo. But I think he's the closest player outside of LeBron James that is LeBron James. So I just think
that's true, because why he didn't win MVP this year? Got robbed?
I think he got robbed. Yeah, personally, I don't think Joel Embiid is a phenomenal basketball player, and he definitely deserved to be nominated. I just think Jokic is just doing too much for that Denver team right now, and they finished one in the West as well and won the champion. I know it doesn't go by playoffs performances, but I'm saying like he had the Denver Nuggets as the number one seed in the West, so like he was the best player on the best team with the best record in basketball. So I think they just wanted to give it to somebody else this year, to be honest with you. I'm not saying Joel Embiid's numbers weren't there, but I mean, if we're going by what they normally do, they usually give it to the best basketball player on the best team. And it's not like Jokic didn't have the stats, you know. The stats were definitely there. They were just as good as he was last year. So I think they give him a bone this year, and they say, oh, sorry for last year. Here's another MVP.
So Jokic, there's so many like possible options, like candidates. Like when
Jokic is the favorite, but everybody, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many options. You look at the addition of Kristaps Porzingis on the Boston Celtics. They could very easily, in the regular season, dominate, and that award ends up going to like a Jason Tatum or something. Or you look at Phoenix, and you look at Devin Booker's about to come, with this season with fire in his eyes, and with that Phoenix team, they could easily finish number one in the West, in the regular season, and it goes to one of those three guys, Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. So it's just like
that's why they won't get it. That's why they won't get it.
With all these likely candidates, Man, it's tough. It's really, really hard. Um, but I'm going to go. Can I do this? Can I go with a Laker? Can I go with a
Do,
Laker?
do it.
Anthony
That's one
Davis.
thing.
Anthony
Whether
Davis.
it's Braun or AD, having a full season with your roster, finishing first or second in the West, just whichever one of those two guys,
Yeah, you could do that. You could
it's
do
just gonna
that.
go to one of the two of the stars in LA having their full roster. The addition of Gabe Vincent, to me, with the elevation of white what's this guy, White Chocolate, with the elevation
Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves game. You added Gabe Vincent. You added some other key pieces. You got the roster that you traded for midseason, that Rob Pelinka traded for midseason last year. Now you get to go full season strong with this roster. I just want to say one of those two guys. I just figure they win a lot of games this year, in the West, and I'm gonna take one of those two guys, Braun or AD, to win MVP.
Fair enough.
Because we gotta understand, AD just signed that $60 million per bag. He signed the same contract when you consider the numbers, the same contract Brown signed. Like he's number one, number two highest paid players in the NBA is AD. AD, you gotta figure this thing out.
It's your show. You could say both.
Can I retract what you just said, though, King? That is true. The only thing I'm worried about AD, not LeBron, AD is not only got his bag, but guess what else he won? A championship. What else do he literally got to prove, but other than playing, fill out his contract?
I mean,
To play ball. To play ball. To play ball. To play ball.
Only way the Lakers.
But King, he's not that dude though. He is
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that.
That is fine. But when you win that championship, nobody remind me of a Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree. Ty Nation. What do you think about the LeBron AD prediction? One of the two of them.
Scottie Pippen to
I like one of the two. If I could just comment on what Gator not what Gator said, what Batman's saying is it's interesting what you say about AD, because I think before AD, the last time that he got hurt last season, if we look at AD's numbers, AD was in the conversation of being an MVP. Again, we can all say we have not seen AD play a full season, which is part of the reason why we would not put him in the conversation. But if we're just going based off of his skill set and what he can do, if we're saying off of his skill set and what he can do, he has a very, very good shot of just consistent play throughout the season of being an MVP, especially because this team now has somebody to be able to play the center position, and he can move over to power forward, which is what he wants to do, which is when he was playing power forward, he did have more games that he was actually able to play because he wasn't going up against centers every night. So I do think that there's an opportunity for AD to just be more consistent this year going into the season. I like either one of them. I just don't believe that the league will give it to LeBron again, because I just feel like at this point in his career, I can't see it. Like we've seen countless times where it's like LeBron James clearly is the best basketball player in the NBA, hands down. There's no questions asked, regardless of where his team finishes in the seeding. It's like if you took that player, the most valuable player, off of whatever team he was on, it's like that team completely sinks and cannot win games. So I just believe that they are not going to give it to LeBron James again. But Anthony Davis does have a real legitimate shot based on the team that they have put around him now.
Okay.
But I agree. I agree 100%.
AD's 11th on the list. So it's not out of the question. He's on the list. So like,
Well, this is what I gotta say though, Gator. I'm with you. Jokic, right? They couldn't give him 3 in a row. Come on, man. You don't give a
He's
person
not
3
getting
in a
3.
row
It's
that
only
never won a championship.
it wouldn't be 3 in a row.
Never won it. It wouldn't be 3 in a row.
Before you win the championship.
It wouldn't be 3 in a row. He won 2 in a row.
No, he
then-
did not. He did not win 2. Jokic won 2 in a row?
Jokic won 2 in a row, and then this year would have been his 3rd in a row, but Joel Embiid won.
Shit, that's crazy.
That's and that's what I thought Gator was your argument. Because they said they had to give it to
I didn't know
somebody.
he won 2 in a row before that. I'm not gonna
Yes,
lie.
he
I thought it was
did.
Giannis the
They
week.
was
I thought it was
saying that
Giannis.
He did.
Yeah, he would have been one of the only players to ever win 3 in a row.
That never
He
won a
deserved it.
championship.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
Well, you know what, Gator? I am with you. So there's no argument. But there's an argument with a lot of people that's in Philly, maybe New Yorkish, and no disrespect, then the prejudice come in because he's from another country and he's Caucasian. Okay? Now I hate to throw that in there. And then Lee said, you know what? They're gonna say, man, this dude never won a championship. Never. And then he wound up winning the championship as a non-MVP player. And this is the most, because I actually watched the Joker play. Because I'm Batman. So I got to see what's on. And so I had to see, and I found out that he actually could play. He could play ball. He's out of all my fault. Yo, what's my
He's
name?
the best player in basketball right now. He's the best player in basketball.
Well, see, you can say that right now. No, well,
He is.
Who was
He is.
MVP?
Yeah.
It's not. He's the best, not too far from a lot of great basketball players.
Go ahead, Nation.
No, he's not.
Just quick
But
question. If we can add on to this.
Exactly. Forget Nation.
Quick question. If we can add on to this.
Sure.
How do we feel about the NBA, like how they do MVPs? Because I just feel like if we look at even the most valuable player, I can look at if Damian Lillard goes to another team and that team becomes a contender because he's on that, like he has a legitimate shot if he goes to a Miami Heat team and they literally like run through the East. Like to me, that's one of those teams. De'Aaron Fox is another one of those guys that I'm like, Sacramento is on their way and he is a key component to it. So I'm like, how do we really judge MVPs? Because I just feel like the NBA, like if we just go traditional, it's the best player on the best team. I'm like,
they do
I don't know if that's the. I don't know.
They didn't do that this year. They went Joel Embiid this year, which wasn't the best player on the best team. So I think they do it better than most leagues. Sure. I don't think it's. I don't think much to it really. Because it's just a regular season award. Like it's just a regular season reward.
Right. But
everyone's gonna have a different opinion on who they think had the best season. That's why they vote on it. I just think if most people are voting on one person, then so be it, I guess.
Okay.
If majority of the voters voted Embiid, then he's the MVP. I have no problem with it.
And then let it be.
I think to be honest, I think there's always like 3 or 4 people that had the stats to be MVP, and they kind of just wait to see what happens towards the end of the season. Then maybe that's where they go with, the best team.
It's everybody on the panel right now. Big Dog, Gator, my man, myself. Would you rather win season MVP or championship world champion MVP?
They would all say world championship. But if you're not, they would all say that. Yeah.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Because when Jokic won, and you didn't even know, Gator, he went back to back. This would have been 3 row for a non-championship team. Me personally,
even Steve Nash won a few in a row, and he probably wasn't the best basketball player at that time. Steve Nash won a few in a row. And he wasn't the best basketball player at the time. The Suns were just really, really good. So because of him.
He made a big difference. But
yeah.
He was a driving force, but
he was the driving force. But they never.
So they tend to give it to the team, the player. So I get what Ty Nation is saying. Is that really like the best way to go about it? I think it's okay if there's like 3 or 4 guys that are like really similar and you can't go wrong giving anybody the MVP. So you might as well give it to the player on the best team. But if there's somebody clearly better than everybody else in the league, I don't care. I don't care if they got a losing record. I personally don't.
Jokic should have won this season.
I agree.
Jokic should have won this season. Other seasons, it could have flip-flopped between Joe B and the Greek Freak. It could have flip-flopped. But
I just think Jokic is like a level better than Joel Embiid. And it's just clear as day when you watch them play.
I agree. No, I agree with that, especially after this season. Now, again, I said this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Joker spoke.
Hey, Joel Embiid definitely gave Joker like 40 when he came back to Philly.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
Joel Embiid definitely had a better regular season than Jokic did.
But what are we talking about? What are we talking about though? Because if you're talking just points, sure. I mean, sure. If you're talking about just scoring, sure.
We're talking scoring, and we're definitely talking defensively. 1,000% talking defensively.
1,000%.
Jokic.
That's probably why Joel Embiid scored 40 on him. He's not the greatest. Jokic isn't the greatest defensive player.
I'm saying what Jokic showed in the playoffs.
Like, of course Joel Embiid's gonna go score 40. Like,
I'm just saying, all season long, Joel Embiid definitely was the better player. But what Joker did in the playoffs, he was not doing in the regular season. Like he was playing well. He was being Joker. Obviously, he finished second in the MVP voting. But what he did in the playoffs was absolutely out of this world. I did not see that coming. That was incredible. Like that was ridiculous.
He had a shot that he did Jordan thing. He said, man, I didn't know that was going in when I had 1 second left and just tossed it up and it went in. He did what it.
He was tripping in the playoffs. He was bugging out. What we got?
We're talking about MVP, so we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to talk about someone who has won the MVP. We're going to talk about Giannis and his potential landing spots. He doesn't want to lock down a future with Milwaukee just yet. He wants confirmation that they're looking to continue to build on that championship caliber team. He does not want to sign a long-term deal with the Bucks until he gets some type of confirmation from owners or that they're looking to continue on building a championship. Right now they've been talking about the Knicks and the Lakers being potential partners. But my question to y'all is this Giannis just trying to get out? Or because do they not have a championship caliber team right now?
Yeah, that's a great question because they
what more does he want them to do?
The roster that they have is the roster that won.
Yeah.
So that it is a little funny. They got the other 2 guys of Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, and then the rest we know is revolved around those 3 guys: Giannis, Drew, and Chris Middleton. So he definitely still has.
You know what this
pieces. It is kind of funny what's going on with this because he definitely still has a really great, like a really good team. His only kryptonite really has been Miami.
And just your team staying healthy. Either Chris Middleton or him has been injured.
Right. So I don't know. I
do you think it's like a little excuse to like not be like? Do you think it's like the stigma where he wants his legacy not to be like LeBron and KD, where it's like they always have an excuse and want to get out? Do you think he's trying to he's trying to leave but not look like them?
But then then don't be like Kareem. Because Kareem went in Milwaukee the last time he won a championship. But what Kareem did, he went to LA and went full mode. So then that's what he's saying. Kareem did it. Why I can't do it? Kareem won MVP in Milwaukee. Why I can't do it? Kareem was the leader scorer to LeBron that a lot of people fail to forget. LeBron got 4 chips in 3 different teams. So,
I just really don't understand why he wants out of Milwaukee. They got a really
I'm
good
not gonna,
team.
look, if you
Is
look
it the
at
city?
if you
Is
look
it the
closely,
city?
yes.
if you look, that's what I'm about to say. If you look closely at where Giannis be hanging out a lot, he loves New York City, yo.
What?
He always
yesterday.
he's always relaxing, chilling, loving just how New York City,
Look at that smile on Batman's face right now. He thinks he's getting Giannis. He thinks he's getting Giannis. You're talking it into existence. He is smiling while you are talking right now.
He thinks
his Knicks are getting Giannis.
He loves him some. Yo, I'm telling you, Giannis Antetokounmpo has a special relationship with New York City, man. He just does. And
he's
so,
been a man in New York.
It'll be
That's
very
what they said to
interesting.
Melo.
Especially, look, Melo's no disrespect. Look, Melo, my favorite player.
I'm just trolling
One of my
Batman.
favorite.
I'm just trolling Batman.
So I don't see him in Milwaukee too much longer. He got Milwaukee a chip, their first chip since Kareem. I don't see him in Milwaukee too much longer. Man. I think he'd be happy with what they
market team.
Because I would love to know what, like Gator's asking. I would love to know when he says I'm not going to commit to Milwaukee long term until they show me that they're still trying to actively win championships.
I'm not gonna lie.
I want to know what he's referring to. You have Drew Holiday, you have Chris Middleton.
Aaron Rodgers left.
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that wasn't his decision though. They traded him, but I'm not gonna.
That was his decision. What are you talking about? He chose the Jets.
His decision.
That was Aaron Rodgers' decision. He chose the Jets.
He might have chose the Jets, but I don't think he wanted to necessarily leave Green Bay. Is that true?
Okay,
well, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about, though. My question is not. See, now I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say?
Oh well.
Look, coming to New York.
Look, I do see him ended up being in Knicks or the Lakers. I see it happening, and probably what he means is something like making a trade for like a Damian Lillard.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. If you're an owner,
like make significant moves that will have fans of the NBA players and coaches look like, whoa, did you see what Milwaukee just did and what Milwaukee just got? Like, make these big time moves that these other programs and Phoenix went ahead and got a big 3 over there. You got the buildup of Denver. He's like, do like Drew Holiday and what I did with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, even though they're above average players, that was no small feat what I did with those two guys. Like, I want somebody bigger and better, a bigger name, a better name. And so I think that's kind of what he's saying. And I think if they're able to get like a Damian Lillard, he'll stay.
If you're a owner, King, and you hear that coming from your superstar, are you trading him? If you hear something like that, knowing the team that you already have around him,
I'm definitely going to listen to deals 100%.
Yeah, that's like a red flag. I'm thinking I'm gonna lose this guy.
What's up, Batman?
I got to walk Gunner. Sorry,
I see you. If you come back on the show, good. I see you.
Back on the show. I'm gonna walk him real quick.
All right. If they do that, what are you seeing, Nation?
I mean, y'all made some good points about Giannis. I think my only pushback would be that if I'm Milwaukee, it's hard for me to move a player like Giannis because of what he's bringing to my city. So I don't know if I'm entertaining.
He could get Anthony Davis right now. They could get Anthony Davis right now.
Yeah, but even if they get Anthony Davis, my whole thing is like Anthony Davis is not healthy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day. So for me, I'm more so like Giannis is an international superstar. I don't want him to leave my market right now. Like, I just don't. So I'm gonna do everything I can to retain him. But I think Giannis is just trying to play the field. Like, he's just trying to put some pressure on the ownership to make sure, like, yo, y'all make sure that y'all are continuing to make moves. If y'all continue to make moves, because the last couple moves that y'all made didn't necessarily pan out. So I'm like, yo, continue to make moves to get our team better so that we can get over the hump.
Do we lose respect for Giannis if he leaves?
No,
No,
because this is the league that we're in today. So
it's true.
that's
true. For the NBA, you're right.
That would be him only existing in the the league that he is in today. If that makes sense.
I don't even know why contracts exist in the
I
NBA
would lose
right
respect if he decided to go to Golden State.
If he
Nah,
went to play with LeBron, forget it, man. Come on.
No, if he go, no. Like if he goes to play with LeBron and there's no AD there, then that's fair.
No,
like, that's
it's
beyond.
not. No, it's not.
And this is my biggest frustration with a lot of with a lot of, like, especially with a lot of old school guys, right? When they say, oh, you saw what LeBron did, played with D Wade, and then I always ask this question, right? And this is what always trips them up,
There's
right?
just no Kobe's in this world anymore.
Hold on.
Man.
This is what always trips them up. I say, was that Miami Heat team with LeBron and D Wade, is that team better than the Chicago Bulls? Oh, what? No. Oh, nah. What? No. Is it better than the Showtime Lakers? What kind of question is that? No, of course not. They're not better than no Showtime. So why are you making a big freaking deal about a team that's not even better than a team? Like, what are we talking about right now? So you're telling me you're mad at Braun for joining a team in a roster that's not even better than rosters of NBA past? Y'all made it seem like that was the best roster in NBA history.
What roster?
Well, who they played though?
The Miami Heat roster. And then when I asked
there was no super teams back then except for Boston.
Yes, there was super teams. You had the show. See, this is what I'm saying. You gotta know the game.
No, I'm saying when the league. No, I'm saying when the league. I'm saying that time. I'm saying in that time. I'm not saying ever.
King, please talk to him.
In that time, you gotta understand. What happened, Nation?
No, I'm talking about that season. That season, there was no super teams. That very season, the Celtics were the closest thing to a super team.
Bro, and this is my point to you. Just like when Showtime Lakers was balling, there was no super teams. It was just Showtime Lakers. It was Magic, Kareem, Big Game James. Like, that was ridiculous what that roster was. And it was
Magic.
It's a little different when you formulate them. It's a little different.
There was no roster like that. You know what I mean? So
did the Lakers draft those players?
Bro, and see, here you go with the ownership.
It matters.
It don't matter. It don't matter if a trade. It don't matter.
It does. It matters. It matters.
It don't matter.
It might not matter to you. It's gonna matter to a lot of people.
You drafted Magic and Worthy.
Was the Lakers?
It matters.
Roster,
I'm telling you, it matters.
Was the Lakers roster better? Yes or no? Everybody clear and without
I don't care. I don't care if they didn't bring anybody on. If they didn't bring anybody on,
my whole point is the fact that you get mad at a decision LeBron made in order to beat on a team that was actually.
No one's mad.
Not you.
But it definitely tarnishes his legacy to me.
Listen. We're talking about people that are actually, not to say you're not actually invested in the sport of basketball, Gator. I'm just saying you're not as most who are, like, invested.
There's
there's
nothing to be mad about.
I'm just saying they were mad.
Sport.
They were mad at Braun in the sense of,
I understand.
Dang, bro, you really joining D Wade, a top 5 player in the league? Well, shoot, Magic was the best player in the league, and Kareem was the second best player in the league, and Big Game James was the 5th best player in the league.
Yeah, but they didn't leave a team to go play with them. It's different. It's 1,000% different. It's 1,000% different.
The roster is the roster. It don't matter how the roster.
That's just good. That's just good fucking drafting, bro.
It don't matter how the roster got constructed.
That's a lot different. It's a lot different.
It's the roster.
It's a lot different.
Stop coming at other dudes.
It's a lot different.
It's a lot different.
You really think that's not different?
That's because you have an ownership mentality. That's why.
It has nothing to do with ownership mentality. It's just a fact. They were put together.
What's the difference?
The difference is a player is leaving.
Hold on.
Hey,
For the
yo.
world,
leaving.
for the
Hey, yo.
world, Gator, for the world of sports, please logically tell me the difference between an organization drafting a great roster and players formulating a great roster together.
Because
I can't
players,
get it.
because players formulating a good roster is leaving a bad situation. That's literally what it is. They're not trying to build around they're not trying to build around the organization that drafted them. It's a big difference.
Braun was in Cleveland 8 years, but go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Ty. He wants to go.
Hey, yo. All right, look. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, look, Gator. I think with the thing that I disagree with you. When I think about drafting a team, yes, you draft somebody, whatever. Them players, what they started to do, and what LeBron exercised as the biggest superstar to probably do that, is he exercised free agency because the owner was unwilling to put a team around him to actually have a chance to contend. The next player, the player that they actually went out and got for LeBron to be like, LeBron, we tried to give you a great player, is Antoine Jameson.
Antoine Jameson.
Like,
Thank you.
Can we just be honest that like LeBron was sitting there looking at his ownership like, yo, I literally 3 years before I actually moved from Cleveland, 3 years before that, I took y'all to an NBA Finals with Daniel Boobie Gibson as the second best player on our team. And y'all didn't make one move other than Antoine Jameson to get this roster to a place where we can actually compete for championships. And you expect me, the person that y'all are calling the chosen one, to stay
in
Cleveland.
Thank you, Ty.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not.
And just allow you to continue to tarnish the legacy that I'm trying to build with what we have.
I'm
just not going to do that.
I'm not debating why he left. That's not it. It's not even really a LeBron debate. It's just players be doing it all the time. But
I just want to know, because all I was asking, Gator, and I want you to kind of, before we move on to the next topic, I want you to explain this. I want to know, what is the difference between what the Lakers did with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? They traded for the second best player in the entire NBA. They took him from Milwaukee and added him to the Lakers roster.
There's no difference. You should have led with that. I didn't know.
With Magic Johnson.
You should have led with that. There's no difference. There's no difference.
And what's the difference? An organization doing
that.
There's no difference. A player deciding to do.
There's no difference. I thought I was under the assumption that nobody was added to that Lakers team. It was just built from.
No.
Okay. Then I don't even know why we were arguing. I don't even know why we were arguing then. No, there's no difference. That's the same thing. That is the same thing. That was the same thing. And I wasn't debating why LeBron left. I understand why LeBron left. He gave them good years. They I don't know if it was just they weren't making the right moves, or they were making moves that just didn't work out. Whatever that front office was doing, I wouldn't say the front office wasn't trying to get LeBron better players. They probably just swung and missed.
No. They were trying, but the bad part was the fact that a city like Cleveland is not drawing for free agency, so they couldn't sign anybody off free agency that was suitable.
And they were too good to get bad draft picks.
Exactly. And when LeBron left, the only reason why LeBron ended up being able to pull off a championship in Cleveland is because when he left, they were so bad that they kept getting the first overall pick, third overall pick.
Yeah, they got Kyrie.
They was able to get Kyrie Irving, Tristan Thompson. They was able to get Andrew Wiggins, and they traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love.
Who was that really bad pick they made? What was that really bad pick they made? The center?
And Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett, yeah.
Bennett, and then they also drafted the shooting guard, but out of Syracuse. But it's like all I'm saying is that's the only reason why LeBron was able to pull that off, because he came back to great draft capital that you speak highly of and was able to get it done. But that's what it took. And so yeah, that's that.
I don't care what anybody says. This is my opinion. This is what I think. It's always more impressive when players win championships on the team that they got drafted on.
He thinks it's
yeah.
more,
I think that's great. I think that's a great.
he
I
thinks
think
it's
that's
more
great when you have
impressive.
ownership.
He
I think
thinks
it's
it's
great when you
more
have
impressive.
ownership that puts you in a position to do that. Because if we remember when
Yeah, but look at Giannis. We're saying
Kobe,
that the Bucks ownership is not that good.
no, all I'm saying is that I'm thinking about historically when we look at players that have had longevity, right? Outside of the only outlier that I would probably say in this conversation is Dirk. Outside of that, I would say that when I look at a Kobe Bryant and his legacy, and we like, man, he stayed with the team that he was drafted with. Kobe wanted out at a point in time because they wasn't getting it done. And then the ownership goes and gets Pau Gasol, who is probably arguably the third best power forward at the time, and they go back to championships. Jordan, they draft Scottie Pippen, but then they come right back and they go and get a Dennis Rodman, a Horace Grant. They got they put a team around Michael Jordan. They put a team around Michael Jordan for him to be able to be like who he was and to stay with the team that he did. Larry Bird never had a problem. He never had a problem when he was in Boston. They literally had a their starting five was all Hall of Famers. So I'm like,
that's why I be imploring. That's why I be imploring Gator to have more of a kind of fluid mindset about this whole thing. Like he has this one stuck mindset about it's more impressive when a guy wins with the team that drafted him as opposed to being kind of like just a fluid thinker in this whole thing. Like be open to both sides. You know what I mean? Like
I'm open to it to a point where it's like if it's really bad, because like there's certain situations where it gets awful. Like even Damian Lillard now, like I would totally respect if he went to another team and won a chip. That's not it. But I think a lot of the NBA players quit too early. They quit too early on teams.
Okay, all right. In that avenue, we could agree.
No, I agree with that for sure. I agree with that.
In that avenue, in that space, we could definitely agree. What we got?
Can Aaron Rodgers win another MVP? Do you think he can add to his list? Can he add to his resume, or is it over? Is he too old?
Look, we might not even spend too much time on this. Ty, can Aaron Rodgers win an MVP, Ty?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I think, oh man, that's tough because I'm like he's in a situation right now that if he just has a semi-impressive year, and the Jets are a very very good I'm like they could mess around and give it to Aaron Rodgers. I think it's very tough though when you in the Patrick Mahomes league right now. And that's who he would be going up against, him and Josh Allen
2 years ago.
So I don't know. I don't know if he can. But he's in a situation where I think that is certainly possible.
That's possible.
You want to go for next game, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I think I don't want to. I think it's impossible just because of the way I think Aaron Rodgers is going to approach this season. I feel like this season, when you look at it in its entirety, it's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs with this Jets team. Just like how with Tom Brady, before they went on that bye week, when he went to Tampa Bay, what was their record was like? I want to say it was like going into the bye, it was like 6-6 or something like that, going into their bye week. And then after their bye week, they didn't lose. They literally didn't lose another game after that. And so I think there's going to be ups and downs. So no matter how well or not well he's playing, I think there's just going to be an up and down season for the Jets. I do think they get into the playoffs, but just because I do think that they face some adversity, like when you talk about MVPs, you talk about guys.
Save a little bit of that next topic. Save a little bit of that.
Yeah, when you talk about MVPs, you talk about guys that finish, their teams finish like 13-3, now 17 games, 13-4, 12-5, 13-4 kind of teams. Like, I don't see the Jets winning 13 ball games. Like, I don't see them winning 13, 14 ball games. Like, I just don't see that happening. where they only lose 4 games in the season, like, and then you're going to have those teams that end up only losing 3 or 4 games, in the season. And so it's just I feel like it's going to be too many ups and downs, and I feel like he's going to lean into a team concept overall, to go ahead and try to compete and win games on a week-to-week basis that will take away from his statistical prowess that he's able to put out. Like, he's able to put up big numbers, but I think they got Breece Hall, and now they got Dalvin Cook. Like, they're gonna really lean on those guys to win a lot of football games for them, and then they're gonna really lean on a slow kind of, because they got the defense. They don't have to ever put their defense in a bad situation. So if they're like 3rd and 11, they don't have to, try to, convert that 3rd down, because they know the type of defense they have. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of kind of trying to win as a team type things that I feel like is going to be going on for him, to not be able to put out that statistical output that it's going to take to win an MVP. But what about you, Gator?
I'm like thinking, like, you're probably right. They're probably not gonna win that many games. So, do I think he's gonna put the numbers out there in order to be able to win MVP? I think so. I mean, he's 2 years. He's 2 years off MVP. I think this is the best offense he's played with since he had Devontae Adams. I would say this is gonna be the best offense he's had before Greg Jennings and whatchamacallit left. I think this is the best offense that he has ever played with since he won that first Super Bowl. I think it's going to be... So he's going to have the weapons in order to do what he needs to do to put the numbers up. They might run the ball a little more, this team, but I don't know. That preseason game that I watched, I know it's just preseason game, they weren't coming out looking to run the football, the Jets. I don't know if they're just trying to get Aaron Rodgers touches and get him into game flow, but they gave Aaron Rodgers free range to do whatever he wanted on those 2 drives. So if I'm looking at it where a standpoint where Aaron Rodgers has control over the offense like that, and you got Garrett Wilson over there, and you could dump the ball off to Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook and let them do their thing sometimes, I don't see why he can't have numbers like he did 2 years ago. I really don't. We're 2 years out of it, where he beat Patrick Mahomes out, where he beat Tom Brady out for MVP. So I don't see why he can't do it again. Will they give it to him because of their record? That might be a different story. You might be right. That division's tough. Their schedule is tough. And that leads right into the next question. Batman, are you here yet to give any take on that? No, that we could go right into the next one because it's a perfect segue to it. Anybody else got anything to add about that? No. Is it Super Bowl or bust for the Jets? And I'm going to bring their schedule up as well. King wanted me to put their schedule up. So that graphics is on
on the screen. We moving on up to the east side. Finally got the beat of my eye. All right, where is that? I don't see the graphic yet. Come on.
It's up.
Oh, it is? Let's see. Oh, there it go. The Jets. Yo, I want Todd, do you see the schedule on there on the screen?
He might not have the stream open.
Do you have the stream open, or you just got the Discord open?
I got the stream open.
What all right. Let's go through this week by week as a under Big Dog Nation, and go ahead and try to decipher how many wins we can see them getting. First week, big week, Monday Night Football up against Buffalo.
Crazy first Monday Night Football game, huh? No Von Miller. I got Jets at home. I got the Jets. I know it's tough. No Von Miller. Jets at home. First game for Aaron Rodgers. I just think they squeak it out. But we can vote on it, and we'll you know what I mean? So you two vote, and then we'll bump it up.
I see what you're getting at. Yeah. How about you, Nation? Jets Buffalo, week 1. Who you got?
I got Buffalo.
Same. I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Okay, so
This
0-1.
this team is too new. Jets. I mean, to go ahead and like try to, tell me they about to be beating Buffalo first game of the season. Like Buffalo not about to come out hot, swinging, wilding, going crazy. Like, nah, I can't see them. A team that's already established and formidable. They have
The thing with that, King, is the Jets beat them once last year, and they almost beat them again. They're Josh Allen's kryptonite, that team. And then you add in Aaron Rodgers, and no Von Miller. It could get funky Monday night. It could look weird, but you guys voted, so 0-1. So they start 0-1. Week 2 at Dallas. I'm gonna put an L on that one. At Dallas, on the road, Dallas gets the dub.
When you talk about their offensive line problems that they're having, and you consider how daunting the Dallas pass rush is,
and they just added Stephon Gilmore as well, pass coverage.
Gotta go Dallas at Dallas. Ty?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with
you. So 0-2. So they start 0-2. I agree, but I agree with you, King. Growing pains, but this is where I think this is when they find their footing. I got them beating New England at home.
I don't know if Ty gonna like this one.
It might not matter. It might not matter because you're gonna have to say the Jets as well. So there's no way you're taking New England here.
I have.
He could take New England just for fun.
In week 3, after being down 0-2, I definitely got them beating New England. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going with New England. I just don't think that they coming out here playing with y'all, yo. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Forget Aaron Rodgers, forget what they got going on. I'm just gonna be honest.
Give us some analytical insight as to what goes into that pick.
He's laughing. He can't.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is I believe in Bill Belichick that he's gonna have our defense very stout. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, and I think what's gonna happen is New England. Mac Jones is gonna have a grow up game where he's gonna be able to march them down the field and get them to a very close victory. That's what I believe is gonna happen in that game. And we're gonna be looking on all of the sports networks and under big dogs at the Jets 0-3 and questioning if
that would be
fun. Know what I'm saying?
That would be
if Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are able to get it done, or if they're already a bust.
Well, they better not start 0-3 because that means they're starting 0-4, King. Next week at Kansas City, that's an L. I got them 1-3 after 4 weeks. Give me a reason to pick the Jets there, because it looks like you're going to. I can tell your facial expression sometimes. I know what you're going to say, and it doesn't make sense. But go ahead. Tell me why they won that Sunday night game. Tell me why they win that Sunday night game. Tell me why the Jets win that Sunday night game against Kansas City.
Yo, like Tide Nation, when people start to know me for a long time, they start to see my tendencies. I'm starting to realize I can be a little predictable, but it's okay. Listen, the Jets, this is a very winnable game to me for them. When you talk about week 1, week 2, it's just the start of the season. Aaron Rodgers didn't put in any work in the preseason as far as reps. He played one drive all preseason
looked very good, by the way, but
to be introduced to the Buffalo Bills and then at Dallas, that's a little daunting, all right? Like, that's a little kind of wild. Now, so far, we got them at 1-2 because we got them beating New England. Todd does not, but, we'll see what happens.
He's the tiebreaker here. Please don't tell me the Jets beat Kansas City, Ty.
But Kansas City is able to lose. We understand that they are the best team in football, but we're talking about regular season football right now. This is a winnable game when you consider the pressure that they can get on Patrick Mahomes. When you consider that Patrick Mahomes' O-line has been revamped. It's not the same O-line from last year. It is a revamped O-line. They lost a lot of, obviously it seems like they could plug in anybody at the wide receiver core, but they still, at the end of the day, they still lost wide receivers from last season. You got guys like what was the wide receiver that came from Florida and he was on the Giants. Now he's on
Kadarius Toney, KT.
Kadarius Toney. You got guys like Kadarius Toney who might not be there week 1 because of the injury that he's facing. Juju is not there anymore. This is a very like winnable game to me for the Jets. Like, especially if they start 1-2 or 0-3, this is a very, very winnable game. Just on hard, playing hard, regular season game. Just Kansas City not being ready for that. This would be a home game as well. Yeah, this is a very winnable game, and it's a night game. That defense is real. Jets defense is actually for real. They're no slouch. They are real. They really are the real deal. And then when you consider what they can do offensively, I got the Jets winning Kansas City, and I will be putting my money on that. I think
that was a long take for something that we're gonna give an L to in about 2 seconds here. Tie Nation.
Yeah, I agree. Kansas City win that game.
All of that for an L, King. You try to persuade him. You tried to persuade him just now. You try to. So they start. What we're saying we say they start 1-3. No, 1-3. We got them at 1-3.
Oh, 1-3. That's right. Wait.
This is where I think they explode though.
Oh.
I think they win 3 in a row here, maybe 4 or 5. But I'm gonna start slow. I'm giving them the win. The win at Denver.
I give them a win at Denver.
He
That's
agrees.
a win.
He agrees. Yeah.
So what? So let's.
So what do we? So they're 2-3 right now, going into Philly at home against Philly. I think they win this game. It's in New York. I think their defense is going to do enough to stop Jalen Hurts, and I don't trust the Eagles' defense. We saw what Kansas City did to them. I think Aaron Rodgers torches them, and I think they win a close game, but their defense does enough to win that game. And they go 3-3.
I got them losing against Philly.
Ooh.
Philly is
at home. They gotta start winning these home games, man. They can't just be horrible at home. Come on, we can't give them one at Buffalo.
They're a new team. Look, Philly. I got Philly. Philly is a daunting organization. I love Jalen Hurts. I love everything about how he's developed as a player. I got Philly. How about you, Nation?
I think I'll have to go against you, King.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go Jets. I'm gonna go Jets winning. Yeah, beating Philly.
3-3. 3-3.
3-3.
Going into the bye week, 3-3. And to be honest, I think with that schedule, I would, if I'm 3-3 if I'm coming out of that start 3-3, I'm ecstatic if I'm a Jet fan. That is a rough schedule. That's a rough schedule. Like you got 4 championship caliber teams that you're playing: Buffalo, Dallas, Kansas City, Philly. Those are 4 teams that could win the Super Bowl, and you're coming out of that 3-3 into the bye week. I'm cool with that. Week 8 against the Giants, win.
I'll take that as I say a win.
4-3 in versus LA. LA's defense is trash. Win. The Chargers at home. That's a long road trip for the Chargers.
Win. So what is their record now? 6 and what?
5-3.
5-3. Okay.
Raiders in Las Vegas. That's a long road trip. Win.
And that's a Sunday night game. I say win. That's a win.
6-3.
At Buffalo, I think they lose to Buffalo 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one a loss because it's in Buffalo, but I think they split. I do think they can somehow win week 1, but...
Well, it don't matter because you're biased.
No. I'm just saying I should give them a win here because I do believe that they're going to split with Buffalo, but it's in Buffalo. I can't. I got to give them an L here. Do you
And
think
Buffalo-
Do you think they split with Buffalo ties? We're already giving them a loss, but I'm just curious. Do you think they go 1-1 with Buffalo, or they lose both?
I think they lose. I think they lose both, and it's just because I think Buffalo is gonna come out swinging week one. Like I think they got something to prove.
I
Thank
think
you.
that no Von Miller thing is gonna, but we'll see.
They got their safeties back. They're healthy again. So
That's
Von
true.
Miller is the
So
I got the loss. So what is their record? 6-4?
6-4, yeah. At home against Miami, I think they split this series. I think they win the one at home.
I'll give them this win. 7-4. Atlanta, I give them that win. 8-4.
Houston, we give them the win. We can run those two.
4. Miami, we agree that they split with Miami.
I agree.
I'm not jacking that.
Okay, then this one's up to tie then.
Up to tie. I got Jets beating Miami both times. Do you got them splitting with Miami, or you got them beating Miami both times?
I got them splitting. I'm having them splitting.
Okay.
I got them winning out. So you got after that. So you can decide whether that's true or not. I got them winning out after that.
No, but so what is their record right now?
He took Miami.
Yeah.
So we gave them the loss to Buffalo and Miami, right? That's it. So they have 5 losses. I don't know how many.
9-5.
9-5, yeah. No, 10-5. 10-5.
10-5.
Oh no,
10-5.
You're right. 9-5. Sorry, 9-5.
9-5. Okay, 9-5 with.
And I think they win out.
Cleveland and New England left. Washington, Cleveland, New England. At Cleveland, when Cleveland is becoming their own, I love me some Deshaun Watson.
I do, but the Jets are better. The Jets are better. Come on.
I love Myles Garrett. Yeah, but the Jets would probably be too formidable for Cleveland. Washington, I don't see any upset there. New England, I do have them splitting with New England though. I don't see them beating New England twice. And
yeah, we're really about to give them a loss because Ty Nation's a New England fan. Here we go. All right, so they finished 12-6. I mean 11-6.
11, and I see that.
That's a playoff team.
I see that for the Jets. I definitely see that for the Jets. And let's keep in mind, that's not necessarily a playoff team in the AFC.
No, it is 11 wins. Yeah, it is 11 wins.
Bro, we remember when Tom Brady got hurt on the Patriots, and maybe Ty Nation remembers this or I forget who the quarterback was. And I think he went to the Kansas City Chiefs afterwards. What's that quarterback, that backup for Tom Brady that didn't live up after he left New England, who went 11-5 with the Patriots and they didn't make the playoffs? Oh my gosh, what is his name? Gator or
Matt
Ty?
Castle?
Matt Castle. Matt Castle went 11-5.
Did they go 11-5?
They went 11-5, and they didn't make the playoffs with an 11-5 record, bro. That was crazy. So let's understand, 11-6 is a worse percentage than 11-5. So we gotta really be careful on feeling like, 11-5.
Yeah, but that's so rare. That is so rare. You might be right.
Rare.
They make it. They make it.
The reason why the West is
no, wait. I'll tell you. No, wait. No, wait. I got you. They didn't have 7 teams back then.
They didn't have what?
They didn't have 17 playoffs back then.
They didn't have playoffs teams. Yes. Okay. That is true. There is an additional playoff spot.
11 should almost 99% of the time should get in.
That's true.
The Patriots would have got in that year if it was this.
Okay.
If it was this, yeah.
Okay. So we got the Jets in with 11 wins, 6.
But the main point, I'm gonna turn this off now. The main question is it Super Bowl or bust for them though? This year is it Super Bowl for bust? I'm gonna tell you why it is. we usually leave it up for our guests first, but I gotta get this out here quick. It's very simple. It's Super Bowl it's Super Bowl because you got Aaron Rodgers. For if we're talking for the rest of Aaron Rodgers' career, it's Super Bowl or bust. It's literally Super Bowl and nothing else. Playoffs is not good enough for Aaron Rodgers now. For Aaron Rodgers, the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. And because your quarterback's ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl, it is it's Super Bowl or bust for them. It is because once Aaron Rodgers is gone, they're not winning a Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this question. If Aaron Rodgers stay there for 3 seasons and wins 1 Super Bowl, is the job well done?
But that's not what it is right now. He's only signed for 2.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. Can you just answer the question?
I don't like that hypothetical because it's not realistic. If he stays there for 3 years, no, I still think it's Super Bowl. I still think even 3 years, you got to get a Super Bowl within these 3 years. You can't waste any one of those 3 years.
Exactly. So this is what I'm asking you. If you feel as though job well done in 3, like if he stays there 3 years and wins in any one of those 3 years, job well done.
Yes.
If you feel yes. So good. So it doesn't have to happen this year then. So it's really not Super Bowl.
I think Aaron Rodgers ain't getting any younger. He's going to be playing the best football right now. So I think the best chances to...
I answer that.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you why I think this season specifically, it's Super Bowl or bust. I'm trying to explain to you why this season I think it's Super Bowl. Yes, if they get it done within those 3 years, that's nice. That pat on the back. But I'm thinking specifically for this season, if Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing at his highest level this season and everybody's healthy, he's got the team to do this, the best team he's played on in 3+ years, I don't see why they can't win it, go out and win it this year.
I see why. Everybody's trying to peg this situation as a Tom Brady to Tampa Bay kind of scenario. To me, it doesn't have that same...
It's different. Tom Brady was a little older. That's different.
No, but Tom Brady was still playing at a high level, so I'm not considering age. I'm just saying it just doesn't feel like that from a team camaraderie, team construction standpoint. I just feel as though he's already committed to 2 seasons at least. Like he's already come out, and we understand he's at least going to be there 2 years. And so he don't win this year or next season, I definitely see him coming back for a 3rd. Like, so I'm jotting it down for 3, and me personally. And so it's just like all he has to do is push for a Super Bowl, win 1 of the 3 years that he's there, and job well done. So no, this year is not a Super Bowl bust. I think continue to build, continue to grow. If you make it to the AFC title game or 2nd round in the AFC, and you build from this and keep growing, and you win it next year, everybody's going to talk all that smack, and then you win it next year. Oh, okay, yeah, good job, yep. Like, it's just like, ignore the smack talk, ignore the Gators of the world, and if you lose your first year, and keep trying to, win a title. Next.
Does Ty Nation want to say anything?
Is it Super Bowl or bust, Ty Nation? I don't know if Ty Nation is there. I think it is. And if he's not, that's okay.
For sure. Okay, we got... Ben Simmons says he's ready to make a comeback and dominate the league again.
Oh, gosh.
The way you just said that is the way I feel about it. Like, I feel like Zion, like the same thing with the Zion situation. Like,
oh man,
have a good game. Have a good game first. Have a good game first. Just have
Ben Simmons says he is ready to come back and dominate again.
Just have one good game.
I really wish Ty was here for this.
The next 2, you at Batman, I wish was here too, because it's the old school, new school. So.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh my gosh, Ty, I want you to lead off with this, and like, I want to hear what you say. You know, I want to hear what you say. Ben
About
Simmons
okay.
says he is ready to come back and dominate again. I just want to leave it right there and just let you speak. I just want to let you go.
Number one, the statement that he made is just false because I don't remember ever a time when Ben Simmons dominated the NBA. All right, that's just the first part. That's just the first part. I'm gonna be honest. Like to me, Ben Simmons just doesn't have the like. He just does not have the skill set to dominate the NBA basketball game. Now, I think when we looked at him like actually passing and he was an elite defender and those type of things. I think that like those are great things, but I think the ability for him to not be able to shoot the ball, confidence or no confidence, I'm like you can't shoot the basketball. So in my opinion, I just don't feel like you have the ability to dominate the league, especially when I look around the league and I'm seeing the jokers of the world. I'm seeing the MBs. I'm seeing Giannis. Like these guys are on a mission. You don't have it. Like I'm just gonna be honest. Like please come out and just like get through a full season first before we sit around and try to talk about like I'm gonna dominate the league again. Like you was just a player that everybody feared. Like, get out of here, yo. Like you was like you were just not that. It's different if it's somebody else, but you're just not that player to me to make a statement like that or to even set an expectation that you're gonna be able to do that.
Crazy. Nah, you going crazy. No,
Did he really say this?
Did who really say what?
He really said this?
What?
Ben Simmons
Yo,
really said this?
did Ben Simmons really say this? Yes, Ben Simmons really said this. Yes.
Oh,
Go ahead,
boy.
Gator. Like you want to say something, Gator. Go ahead.
I really don't. But like I said, play one good game first. Like let's see you play. Let's say you play one big game where where I'm just like, okay, Ben Simmons, like okay, like let's see more of this. Like let's see some consistency in this. He has not done a thing since he's left Philadelphia. Not a. Do you remember the last time he played a good basketball game? He did nothing spectacular on the Nets either.
Nah, hold on. All right, let me step in. Cause
Bro,
I'm gonna be honest.
I'll let you step in. I just feel this just like the Zion thing. Like, show me, man. Stop talking all that stuff and show me. Like, show me.
Gator, before King jumps in, real quick. Gator, I cannot treat it the same as Zion because I'm gonna be honest. What I seen from Zion, if he is a healthy Zion Williamson, he is 1,000% capable of dominating
Oh no, for
a
sure, for
player.
sure.
Like
But
one,
what I'm
like, but what I'm saying
yeah,
is Ben Simmons is not
never.
capable of being able to dominate the NBA. Zion
Hold on.
Williamson,
No, I'm not
1,000%
comparing it
is.
like that. When I say that, I mean like it's like when we say Zion, show us you can stay healthy. Ben Simmons, show us you could play basketball at a high level. That's kind of like what I mean.
Wait. Can I intervene, please? Can I intervene?
That's your
Like,
turn now.
can I wait? 16, 8-8 his first year. Can I interest you in that? On 54% shooting from the field. Can I interest you in that? Can I just interest you in that? 17, 9-8 his second year playing in the NBA. Can I interest you in that? Like, third year, 16, 8-8, 2 steals per game on 58% shooting from the field. Can I interest you in that? All I'm saying is we being a little like I remember when Ben Simmons first got into the league, and I want to say Joel Embiid was down due to injury for I forget what reason, and Philly was still surviving and thriving, like on a wins-loss column. Like he was still having them winning games on a nightly basis from his transition play. We got to stop acting like Ben Simmons is no scrub, like to say the least. Like to me,
He
dominating
is.
means
He is.
come out. To me, the word he was really looking like I don't want to say a counterfeit LeBron at one. Like he was looking like a generic LeBron.
Look at the
James.
camera when you say that. Look at the camera when you say that.
Generic LeBron James. Ben Simmons was looking like a generic LeBron James
Are you crazy?
In his early years. Ben Simmons was looking like a generic LeBron James in his early
Can I clip
years
that?
in Philly. When you could do it, of course you can clip it. You can do whatever you want to do with that. He was. Because, again, like I said, can I interest you in 17, 9, and 8 per game? Like, and when Joel Embiid, go, all my basketball savants out there, go look at the stretch of games. I want to say in his second year with the 76ers when Joel Embiid went down, Philly was still winning a lot of games. Like they were, and it was on the back of Ben Simmons playing in transition, finding shooters, rebounding, assisting, dunking in transition, playing high-level basketball. He was doing a lot of things. He was doing a lot of things that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet, which is he was getting a lot of transitional hockey assists, pushing the ball in transition, making a great pass to another, and somebody, his teammate, making another great pass to a great shot. Like he was generating. This is to me in basketball what dominating is. If you are the reason why your team is generating great looks after great looks, possession by possession, you are a dominating player in basketball. I don't care what your numbers say. Like it reminds me of Draymond Green. You know, they make fun of Draymond Green all the time. But what he does offensively is he's one of the main reasons why Golden State Warriors generate great looks possession by possession. If you are one of those guys, to me, that is what is considered dominating the game of basketball. And Ben Simmons was definitely doing that, especially in that stretch where Joel Embiid was down and out. And so I can't come on here and necessarily say Ben Simmons is not like a guy that like
I would love
can't
to. I
say
would
that.
love to.
Yeah,
Come
please.
back
I'm gonna
to
let
that.
you. I'm definitely gonna let you. And on top of, and I'm just talking about the offensive end, though. I'm just talking about the offensive end. Let's not forget the terrorizer that he was on the perimeter guarding the basketball. Yo, this dude was physically, he was able to guard 1 through 3 on the perimeter with no like he was sticking with dudes, sliding his feet, being physical with guys on the perimeter. Like I want to say he finished top 5 in defensive player of the year, his 3rd year with Philly. He like just the defender that he is. Remember, averaged 2.1 assists. I want to say he led the league in 2.1 steals. I want to say he led the league in steals that season. But beyond that, he was just a defensive terrorizer. So, like, Ben Simmons is at the least, and I'm not saying that he's some freaking like LeBron or Jordan or Kobe or any one of these greats names. He's not that. I get that. But to say that he's not viable, like to say that he's not like one of like he's not a legit.
Why are you saying that in the present tense? Say was, not is.
He was. Yes, was. I'm just saying, like, let's understand what he was and what he actually displayed on the court. Like,
he's not doing that now, though. Can we both agree he's not doing that now, though?
So no, he's not doing that right now. I know, I agree with that. I'm not saying that he's doing that right now. I want to see.
Oh,
is
no,
he going to be
I'm saying
the statement was that he's going to come back.
Before you go, is he going? Is he going to be
That's what I was
Giannis?
getting at,
No,
Todd.
no. He's not going to be Giannis. He's not going to be any of these greats, no. And now he's on Brooklyn, so yeah, they're probably not going to be formidable. I'm just saying, like, as far as a contention, but if he's actually healthy and playing like the Ben Simmons that he was playing like, yeah, pair him up with somebody, one of these crazy teams if you want to. If he goes back to the Ben Simmons we knew, put him on one of these teams if you want to, one of these like contending teams if you want to, and think it ain't going to be crazy out here. Put him on Golden State playing like how he was playing year 2, year 3 in Philly, and let's really understand how that's about to be looking out there. So, but yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Nah, King, you made some very, very, very good points. My only pushback to that is, I think I just don't believe in his ability to be dominant. I won't talk and
He's
say
done it though. I laid out.
no.
I laid
Well, I'm
out.
saying I don't believe that he's done dominance. Has he had a stretch of playing good basketball? Yes. Millions of NBA players have had good stretches.
I'm talking about the
playing
reason
very,
why
very
he's winning. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So what I would say is this is just a pushback, right? I could say that TJ Warren had a stretch where we were sitting there looking like, yo, he is blacking right now. So like, if we gonna do that, like, we just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what I'm saying, Ben Simmons had a longer stretch than the TJ. That was crazy. That was crazy. Nigga talking about TJ Warren in the bubble. For anybody out there that's
right.
like, understand the way he coming from.
And he was going absolutely crazy. But anyway, what I'm saying is that I feel like Ben Simmons had a stretch where he was playing very, very good basketball. Just like we've seen that happen for players like just across the league in general. But when I think about dominating, to me, I don't see Ben Simmons as being a dominating player. Like, I just don't see that part of it.
Of course,
now,
man,
with this Brooklyn team, I'm not going to hold you. The team that they have right now with the two guys that they got from Phoenix, with Cam Johnson and that, like, and how they've been playing in the Olympics, like, those boys can actually hoop. So he doesn't have to come out there. Like, I mean, not the Olympics, but in FIBA, those guys can hoop. So he doesn't have to be
talk about Miles Bridges and Cam Johnson, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have to be the star, the number one player on that team. Mikal Bridges. Yeah, he doesn't have to be the star player on that team. But I think coming into this season, if he turns into like Ben Simmons, that is pushing the basketball, that's playing defense, like, I think he's going to be a good player. But I just can't see him coming back and dominating. Like, the statement that he said is that I'm coming back to dominate the league again. Like, you just was in the league and just blacking out, like you was just a dominant force that nobody could do anything with. Like, we could literally put our center in the league in the middle of the paint and force you to shoot the basket. Like, that's literally what. So I'm just saying that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy how being a two-way player no more in the NBA, I guess, means nothing no more. I guess
I don't think that's what it is. It's just like we haven't seen anything in a couple of years. Like, how do you think he's gonna get back to that point?
What you're missing, Gator, is the fact that Ty Nation's stance is he never dominated ever before in general. That's the angle.
Well, dominated, I would agree. I wouldn't say he dominated. He was a good player. He was a good player.
Nah,
he can't even shoot free throws, man. He's a liability sometimes.
No, he is. He's all those things. I'm just saying
he's just inconsistent on the offensive end, and I just think, like, defensively, yes,
he's a good defensive player. Yeah, he's a good defensive player.
We just can't just say
talking about a guy that averaged 16 points per game on 55% shooting, 17 points per game on 56% shooting, and 16 points per game on 58% shooting.
Yeah, and then you also realize
because most of us were dunking the basketball.
But you also realize
how you
scoring. LeBron is the greatest scorer to ever score the ball, and he can't. And we know he struggles shooting the basketball. So
Not like
from the
Ben
Not like this.
Simmons.
Not like this.
Not like
not
Ben
like
Yo.
Ben,
Simmons.
not like Ben, but let's understand something.
It got so
Most
bad.
points.
People were telling him to shoot from three. They were literally joking around with him and walking away from him at the 3-point line.
I mean, they did the
disrespectful.
same thing to LeBron. They do the same thing to LeBron sometimes.
Oh, he
I'm
gonna
just
get
saying,
paid
but
for
my
that
whole-
though.
my whole thing- my whole thing with Ben Simmons-
this kid was dominating the game. Not
I
on
just-
not on a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scale, not on a Magic Johnson scale. No, but was he dominating in terms of like?
But on a Chris Bosh scale is what you're trying to tell me. He was more like a.
I take that. Let's book that right now. When Chris Bosh was on the Raptors, I will take that. Ben Simmons had the same capacity of dominance that Chris Bosh had when Chris Bosh was on the Toronto Raptors. I'll take that. I'll end the conversation right there. I'll take that.
All
Take
right.
that.
Well, if that's what we're saying, then all right.
That's dominating. Just FYI.
Do you want to do this old school versus new school? Or you want to save that for when Batman's on the show?
No, we got to do it. He just missed out because that's episode that's show by show is it's a new names. So let's do it to close out the show. What is it?
Old school, new school. Old school versus new school. Chris Paul versus John Stockton. I don't know much about John Stockton. I don't even know if I can rate this one.
Chris Paul.
I looked up the
John-
stats. I
I'll
looked
go.
up the
I'll
stats,
go.
but the numbers are just like so
Yeah.
different back then. It's just so
Go.
different.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mr. Nation.
It's always a tough thing because you just think about errors. But I would
Yeah.
say I would probably say John, and part of the reason is because if I'm not mistaken, in the categories that we would consider being a traditional point guard that we put John Stockton and Chris Paul in, John Stockton's numbers are just better than Chris Paul's numbers.
Why?
So, I'm saying from assists, steals, like I think John Stockton, like of all time, he has better numbers than a Chris Paul, which is what we would compare. And when we say Chris Paul is more of a traditional point guard where he is facilitating and doing those type of things, I feel like we would put John Stockton in that same category. And from a number standpoint and an impact standpoint, I just feel like John Stockton, he's there. And they went to 2 championships. Even though they lost to Jordan, he went to 2 chips.
But he had the mailman though. Did Chris Paul
Okay,
ever?
but did we?
Help me,
He did not.
correct me if
He didn't
I'm
have.
wrong.
He didn't have.
Chris
Okay,
Paul ever had a mailman?
no, he didn't have a mailman. But let's just make this very, very clear. Mailman is phenomenal, but let's not do that and be like, oh well, if it was just mailman by himself and he wasn't sitting there with a John Stockton that was pick and rolling and making sure that he was getting all those easy looks that he had. We can't just say one. We can't just say one without the other. That the mailman would be the third all-time leading scorer without John Stockton as his point guard.
This is what always gets me, gets me fueled up about, basketball aficionados, right? Because me and Utah, we've been like literally basketball as our life. Honestly, like it's a part of our life, a big cornerstone part of our life. And one thing that we always miss, I think, as aficionados of this game, is that, bro, if you great, my guy. Like why are we not thinking about that from the other side around, that John Stockton is who he is because of mailman? Like any way you you talk about a guy that as talented and gifted and as great as mailman, any team he goes to, any organization he plays for, we would have known who Karl Malone was. Like
that's not. I'm not saying taking that away. All I'm saying is that if we looking at the 2 careers side by side, I'm sitting there looking at John Stockton's career with the Utah Jazz. Yes, he had a mailman next to him, and they went to 2 finals. If I'm looking across the stats, I'm looking at he is number 2 or 3 assists all time. He's number 2 or 3, if not number 1 steals all time. Like I'm looking at that player, and then I put him next to a Chris Paul, and I'm looking at Chris Paul, who's probably in the top 10 in both of those different categories statistically, and then I'm looking at, okay, what was his playoff run? All right, he was next to a James Harden, even though he got hurt in that series, and we all kind of can tell where maybe that series was potentially going. He was a part of Lob City, where you got a Blake Griffin and a DeAndre Jordan and that team with Jamal Crawford that literally we looking like, why can't they get over the hump? And Chris Paul was at the helm of that. So what I'm saying is that even in New Orleans, I'm not saying that they had a championship.
Blake Griffin,
All right, so no. I'm not comparing them. What I'm saying is, in the era that they was in, that LA Clippers team, are we gonna sit there and say that they did not fall short of the expectations when you had a 6th man of the year coming off of your bench, and then you had the team that you had with Chris Paul at the helm of it?
Yo, bro, if we understand this game the same way, bro, as exciting as that Clippers team was, they was not Golden State. They was not San Antonio Spurs. Like they were not we gotta understand we love those Clippers teams. We all rooted for those Clippers teams. We all did. That Lob City attachment to their name made them seem like they were a roster that was actually like a potential actual championship roster. Like that was not like some type of championship that wasn't a insanely great team that we're like, yo, they fell short. Like I'm not like, to say they fell short is to me a strong statement, as if that was like, LeBron, Chris Paul, LeBron, D Wade, or Magic, Kareem, or let's think about of that era, like a Splash Bros with Draymond Green and remember the strength in numbers with Leandro Barbosa, Harrison Barnes, and that the list goes on and on as far as who they had when they was really strength in numbers over there. Like, so it's just like that's not like of that. They didn't have that over there in Clipperland. But we fell in love with Lob City as if we felt like they had that type of roster and that type of build that was an actual championship build. Come on. Like I just disagree that they had an actual championship roster.
Well, all I'm saying is that when I look at the team and I look at the careers between both of these players, I'm seeing a Chris Paul he's been to 1 championship in Phoenix, and they lost. So all I'm saying is that I'm looking at the teams that he's been on, and I'm looking at John Stockton putting their careers together, and I'm like, you got 2 finals where John Stockton loses to, Michael Jordan and that Bulls team. That is a fair, that's fair.
I agree.
And then I'm looking at Chris Paul and just how his journey throughout the NBA, and I'm just like, okay, he hasn't had the greatest team of all time, but I can't say that the Utah team is the greatest team of all time. But I'm like, they was going through the West. But I also think that part of that is, I mean, you got the mailman, but part of that is John Stockton is doing. If you ask people or you watch interviews of people that talked about the way that John Stockton played the game of basketball, he was a pest. He was crazy on the defensive end. Offensively, he had that offense buzzing. So what I'm saying is that he was a key part of why that team is one of the best teams that we're sitting here talking about today. And I'm just saying that if I just put them next to each other, I just have to edge it to a John Stockton versus a Chris Paul, and I absolutely love Chris Paul. But I have to
What
edge it
I'm
to
hearing out of
John
this
Stockton.
is that John Stockton was a part of the reason why a team was the greatest of all time, and Chris Paul has never been in that conversation. No one's sitting here and be like, "Yo, that team was so great. They won so many championships, or they won championships because of Chris Paul." We're not sitting here talking about Chris Paul like that.
Like, this is my whole thing. The very first time that Chris Paul ever even got a caliber of a sidekick of the quality of a Karl Malone with Devin Booker, he ended up in the finals. The very first season. Like, I'll put D Book up there, in terms of
He played with
greatness
James Harden too,
him.
but
And even with James Harden, they was up 3-2 on Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. Like, they were up 3-2. Chris Paul goes down injury in game 5 when they won that game 3-2. They was up 3-2. He couldn't play in game 6 or game 7. Like and if we remember that series, Houston had Golden State's number. Like they was cooking them. Chris Paul was doing the shimmy when he was making the Steph Curry shimmy on Steph Curry when he was draining threes in Steph Curry grill. Like when he was draining like hard, over the shoulder threes at the end of the shot clock.
3-2 isn't cooking them. 3-2 is still a close
No,
series.
I'm saying we remember. See, this is what I'm saying. When you was watching the series, how it was transgressing, they was definitely the more dominant team with Mike D'Antoni as their head coach leading that offense with James Harden and Chris Paul and those guys that was around those guys. They had a 3-2 lead on Golden State because they were the more dominant team, especially offensively. So, and Chris Paul gets hurt in game 5, absent game 6, game 7. I have no, like, when you got Chris Paul doing the shimmy, doing the Steph Curry shimmy back to Steph Curry, like that's like one of the indications to me that like game 6 and game 7 really could have got crazy for Golden State. And it took.
But when we have to just live in the reality of what happened though.
Oh
because
my
I
God.
feel like
Let's live in the reality. Like, come on, man.
All I'm saying is we gotta live in the reality of what happened when we're comparing the greats.
As basketball aficionados, we gotta consider everything. Like, we can't just sit there and
but at the end of the day,
got hurt. So
at the end of the day, we have to just live in the reality because to me, these two players are very close. This is not like, Chris Paul by a long shot. It would be completely different if I'm saying, let's put John Stockton up to Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we put John Stockton up against Steph Curry, we like, Steph Curry by miles. It doesn't really matter. Like, it's just like if you put these two players next to each other, it's like they are very, very close. So because we got to kind of eliminate all of the other stuff,
we have to go to other stuff.
Like, we got to just go. You know what I'm saying? We got to just say, like, the reality is he went to 2 chips. He is in the category of being a point guard. He has more steals. He has more assists.
Nowhere near close to amount of more points than Chris Paul. It's not even close. So let's not be omissive.
Okay.
Chris Paul by far outscored this man for a career. Like, we do understand
we can agree that
Chris Paul is a better scorer than John Stockton. We could agree there.
We can agree with it. We can agree there. But I'm saying we can agree to disagree on this topic. And I think Gator might have another joint for us.
No, I think no, that's the end of the show. I think, yeah, that's the end of the show. But it's just we was closing with this topic, and we'll always make sure.
Yeah, there's 2 topics left, but I'll just save them for the next show.
Yeah, we were closing with the top. But I'm just saying, you look at Chris Paul's assists per game for a career is 9.5. John Stockton's career assists per game is 10.5. You're talking about in John Stockton's 13 points per game for a career, Chris Paul's 18 points per game for a career. Like, you're talking about like we really sitting here acting like, these numbers is not, like you said, it makes things interesting. However, I give Chris Paul the edge just because who was the all-time great head coach that John Stockton and Karl Malone had? I forget who what the name of their coach was. Great offensive mind,
Jerry Sloan.
Jerry Sloan. Thank you. And with a mailman, like, are you like, you talking about give Chris Paul a mailman? Like this is where it just gets weird for me in these conversations, because like in the last show, I took Larry Bird over Kevin Durant, so I'm not biased to new school. Like, it's just in this
You know why I'm
scenario,
picking John Stockton?
I just feel as though in this scenario, Chris Paul is not, to me, it's not splitting hairs like we're acting like. To me, Chris Paul is definitely the more formidable player, the more dynamic player, just the more dominant in the game of basketball player, when you consider that, bro, bro, do your homework on Karl Malone, Gator. If you give Chris Paul a Karl Malone, the first time he ever had a Karl Malone caliber talent in Devin Booker, he was in a championship. So it's just like, I would have loved to see CP with a Karl Malone and a Jeff Hornacek and a Jerry Sloan, and what? Like, come on. Now I'm going CP on that.
I'm biased. Know why?
Yeah.
Because 18 seasons on the same team.
Anyway, bye.
I get what you're saying. Like I said, I feel like both of those players are very close. So I think you can't lose going either way. I just would edge John Stockton as being the player. But it's both. So I don't hate to pick a Chris Paul.
Okay.
But I do agree with your pick with Larry Bird and Kevin Durant. I wasn't here for that, but I agree with your pick there.
Yeah. I wouldn't lie. We had to go Larry on that, and we
I think everybody agreed. Yeah, everybody agreed. Yeah.
We all agreed on that. It was Larry, actually. So yeah, we was locked in on that one. And so you actually a fourth guy, you know.
Yeah, so it has to be
Kevin
true.
Durant.
It has to be true. That means.
Yeah. We go with Larry. So no, that's the show, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We'll make sure we get these posts up there. Consistency is key. We're going to break the doors open. It's going to happen. It's literally a matter of time, because of the premise of the show, the idea of the show that allows the sports fans to come on just in from anywhere they are, from any device, and talk sports with the sports world, with the sports community as a whole. It's just such a gratifying, long overdue idea, and it's going to break ground. The consistency is finally there behind the platform. There is no turning back. And you know, that's what it is, right? And so we're looking forward to continuing building production, building greatness here at Under Big Dogs, and it will happen. The breakthrough will happen. So we appreciate everybody that comes through on the show to watch, to be on the show and talk sports, and the ones that we will get eventually. We got some posts coming on social media pages. With that said, I wanted to say one thing, Gator, but go ahead, and say your closing if you got anything closing.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Ty Nation. I'm sorry, Gator. Before you close, Ty Nation, real quick, say, just shout out your Instagram, shout out your occupation, your Instagram. So the people know who you are.
Yeah. Well, I'm
And
Ty Nation at Ty Nation _ TY Nation _ is my Instagram, and all my other I think Twitter and TikTok. And I'm a youth director at Elevation Church.
Youth director at
Elevation
Church. Thank you, and thank you for your service to promoting the gospel. And we really appreciate you doing that. I mean, if one scripture that I read today, that if I consider my life a failure, if I don't promote the gospel, the good news, the grace of God. And so thank you for your service. Get us out, Gator. You got closing remarks, right?
I always give it nice, give a little preview to what we got coming up. Monday is going to be a great show. So, we've been talking about divisions. We've been talking about football. Well, you know what? Next week is the official start of game week, man. Like, everything was leading up to this week. Like, next week is game previews. Like, we're going to be able to sit down and actually talk about the games coming up on Sunday. Like, that is very exciting. We've been talking a lot of crap about who's winning divisions, who's winning this and that. Any last minute changes you got coming up on the weekend, you might want to think it over, because Monday is the official prediction. So when we look back after this full football season's over, and we get to see like who was right on their predictions and stuff like that. So final prediction Sunday, we're doing 7 teams. We're doing everybody. If you want to join in, have your 7 teams from each conference in the playoffs, NFC, AFC, Super Bowl winners, conference winners, all that fun stuff. So all those final predictions will be Monday.
And next Friday we have week 1 prediction. So that's going to be an exciting show as well. So yeah, let's go.
Next week's going to be fun, and we'll preview the first Thursday night game on Monday as well. Kansas City versus Detroit is on Thursday night, so we'll do a little preview of that as well.
On the Big Dog Nation.
Yeah, we out.
Thank you for tuning in, Ty Nation. Thank you for pulling up.